What we eat has a huge impact on the environment.
How far food travels and how it's grown counts for over 1/3 of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. Many people don't realize that eating locally and organically isn't just healthier, it can substantially reduce the impact we're having on the planet.
I'm going to see Bruce Barber, an accomplished and exacting private chef.
He's open to going green, but not convinced that eco-choices will meet his most demanding clients' expectations for quality and taste.
My name's Bruce Barber, and I'm a private chef. I've cooked for Will Smith. Currently, I'm the on-call chef for Barbara Streisand. The clients that I have, money is not an issue. They just want the food to be really, really good.
So, you're cooking a meal tonight?
Yeah, my next-door neighbours are coming over for dinner, and they've been here many, many times. First thing I'm going to do is barramundi.
Barramundi.
Barramundi is a fish that's indigenous to Australia, Southeast Asia. It has a unique flavour and texture.
Okay, what else do we have here?
Grilled peaches with prosciutto and arugula, a little extra virgin olive oil.
And then for dessert,
Dessert,
looks like.
a lemongrass and palm sugar panna cotta. It's kind of like flan, but it's made with palm sugar, which is an Asian ingredient, and it has a unique flavour to it.
Here's what I propose. I'm going to see how many of these ingredients I can find that have been grown organically.
Okay.
And I know price is not necessarily a factor, but I'm just going to see how many of these ingredients I can also source affordably too. There's something called the 100-mile diet. People are trying to source as many of their ingredients as they can within 100 miles of their home. And since they're not traveling as far, there's not as many carbon emissions associated with bringing them ultimately to our dinner plate. So I'm going to apply that to this menu. If there's some things that I can't find, maybe I'll find a substitute, and it has to meet the Bruce Barber standards for taste, presentation, the things, of course, that are important to you and your clients.
No way. No, can't be done. I don't think you're going to find prosciutto locally. You're sure as hell not going to find barramundi locally.
Okay.
Palm sugar, probably not. And there's probably a few other elements you may have difficulty finding, but I'll give it a shot. If it sucks, it's on your head.
All right, let's see how it goes.
Okay.
The average piece of produce travels 1,500 miles from the farm to the supermarket, pumping carbon into the atmosphere all along the way. Short of growing your own fruits and vegetables, there are plenty of other options to get them closer to home.
Welcome to Spud.
Spud is a company that actually delivers local, organically grown produce. It certainly doesn't get any lazier than that.
I'm sourcing ingredients for a private chef, and I told him that I could do local within 100 miles for his ingredients.
Okay.
So I'm going to need your help on this.
Correct. These yellow onions, so these are from Lamont, which is about 98 miles away. Spud defines local as being within a 500-mile radius. What we like to say a day's drive. We think that that's reasonable in terms of the growing areas that are available to us.
The produce. I need to touch some fruits and
you need to
vegetables.
funnel,
let's check
funnel
some
the
quality
produce.
here.
Bruce's recipes contain a long list of specific produce, so I'm going to meet Spud's produce specialist.
Talk to me about locally grown. How much of this stuff is grown near LA?
About 60%. There are quite a few staples in our American diet that you just can't get within a day's drive. Bananas are a very good example.
If I didn't live here in LA, what should I be thinking about if I wanted to support organic, locally grown food?
Farmers markets typically are the easiest way to do that. You really get to interact directly with farmers and people that are working their stands that know the produce intimately. Anytime we have a produce listing, you can click on the farm when you're on spud.com, and you can go directly to that farmer's website and see what they're all about.
I need some peaches.
Peaches. Okay, so you just click on the fruit icon, making it easy because you're lazy.
Sourcing ingredients from within 100 miles isn't easy, so Leslie is going to keep working while I find the most important ingredient, the fish.
If I care about the planet and I'm thinking, all right, well, maybe I want to find a fish that's going to reduce my environmental impact. That's something you guys focus on, right?
Oh, yeah. We consider ourselves stewards of the sea and the resource. So it's in our best interest to make sure that all the seafood resources are managed properly. We have lots of sources around the world who know what our parameters are for sustainability, for quality.
What does sustainability mean when we think about seafood?
We consider sustainable, are you taking the same amount that is being produced, either on a farm or wild, and maintaining a healthy balance so the fish can reproduce at a normal rate, and we're not depleting that resource faster than they're reproducing.
So what about buying local?
When we think local, we think the west coast of the United States, anywhere from the Gulf of Alaska to the Baja coast of Mexico. We do get several species out of California, and this time of year, we're doing pretty well.
Let me tell you what I'm up against. I've got this chef who I told that I could find a substitute for barramundi that I could source within 100 miles.
There's the barramundi from Australia that you're looking at, and you compare it to maybe the California sea bass, there's a close resemblance. They're both lean, they're both rather meaty fish. This fish was probably caught last night.
Really?
And it's probably within 50 miles.
Oh, it's a beautiful fish. Are there any other things that you think might work?
I can't think of a better alternative to the barramundi right now.
The sea bass seems perfect.
Here you go, man.
It's local from within 50 miles and similar to barramundi. I'm picking up just a few more items and heading back to Bruce's.
Did a lot of shopping.
Doesn't look like you did a lot of shopping.
Well, you know, we'll get to that. So we couldn't actually source prosciutto, but we found Lanza. Now this actually came from San Francisco. So it wasn't entirely within the 100 miles, but pretty close. So let me know what you think.
Let's see what we think. I'm not too sure about this. Tastes like pork.
So like prosciutto.
No, this doesn't have a lot of saltiness to it, so I'm not sure how well it's going to work. But hey, we'll give it a try. See what the guests think.
Here's the big one, man.
Okay.
Right? Barramundi. This is a local sea bass caught about 50 miles outside of Los Angeles.
Well, so far I'm liking the texture. I would have liked to have seen the skin left on it. That would have made for a nicer presentation. I'm not too sure whether this is going to be able to stand up to the sauce. You know, there's several ingredients that aren't quite here yet.
I don't want you to stress too much about that, but I'm definitely going to need one of those jackets, man.
Yeah, I suppose I could give you a jacket. Whoa, you almost look like a pro.
Ready to go. I'll get that. Thanks for coming over. Bruce.
Wow.
We got some gifts for you. Leslie is from a company called Spud. Spud, Bruce, is a company that delivers organic food, local food. Let's see what we got here. All right, our local peaches.
These are gorgeous peaches for you.
From a chef's point of view, wanting to buy the best quality ingredients you can get, I'm going to pick up every single peach and I'm going to smell it, I'm going to feel it, and you can't tell that when you're buying online.
Spud actually measures the distance that all of our products travel to our warehouse. So you can see here on your invoice that we outline that for you. For your entire dinner, the average distance was 723 miles.
We got 16 of the 20 items within 100 miles. 4 that didn't quite make it, 2 within 150 miles.
Okay.
So from a lazy environmentalist point of view, is it perfect? No, but is it way better than perhaps the conventional choice? Yeah.
Can't get lazier than sitting on your butt and pushing a few buttons on a computer.
Right.
Okay,
It's out.
bye guys.
I'm really scared. Okay. I'm getting nervous. From what I've seen so far, you're not really very useful in the kitchen.
Thank you. All right, well, let me ask you a question. What are you going to do with all this waste?
Throw it in the trash.
Logical. But I've got a solution for you.
Better
For
than
you,
kitchen skills.
I picked up an automatic composter, Bruce.
What?
Automatic composter. It uses less energy than a compact fluorescent light bulb. Pretty cool solution for composting. I got something else for you.
Oh, a water jug.
Not just a water jug, man. This is a Brita pitcher. This is an easy way to avoid using disposable water bottles. You're gonna get cleaner, great tasting water. This is a small change that really adds up to a big difference. It's easier on your wallet, it's easier on the planet, and we are gonna have some great tasting water tonight.
Bruce's guests, Jamie and Mark, arrive for dinner, and it's time to see if my choices hold up.
I was trying to find local prosciutto. I couldn't find it that was sourced locally here in Los Angeles, but we did find something up in San Francisco. Sometimes the green choices are just good substitutes, and sometimes the green choices are actually the best choices. That's when we're getting to a place where we're actually improving our lives.
I like the Lanza.
It's really good.
I mean, you can't really say it's the same as prosciutto.
It doesn't have the saltiness of good prosciutto di Parma, but it's actually a very good substitute.
All right, so this is our sea bass substitute for the barramundi. This looks fantastic.
As a substitute, it works, but by itself, it's a great tasting fish.
I think with this particular sauce, the barramundi would hold up better because it's a stronger flavor. My vote would be, for this particular dish, would be the barramundi.
All right, well.
But you did a good job. I mean, it was a really good effort.
Thank you.
We replaced the palm sugar element with turbinado sugar, and I think you guys have actually had this before.
I gotta tell you, I think it's awesome.
I cannot tell the difference between the palm sugar that I had here last time and this.
So next time I'm cooking, I'll use you to source the ingredients. I just won't use you in the kitchen.
Bruce, that's understandable, but let me ask you. So, for your standards, how does the panna cotta taste for you?
It's just maybe a little too sweet. I would just experiment more and maybe use half as much. Totally willing to do it with this instead of palm sugar.
Okay, great.
Because palm sugar leaves a huge carbon footprint.
Right. How do you think I did overall?
I'd say a couple of things I would have done slightly differently now that I'm used to the ingredients that you brought to me. But overall, I mean, you did really well.
Nice, cheers.
Cool.
The idea of the 100-mile diet sounds great, but in reality, it's just not a lazy enough solution for me. A day's drive opens up the map to a lot more variety. Ultimately, if we start by just knowing where our food comes from, there are endless solutions that greatly reduce our impact on the planet.